You might ask yourself, how does a motherfucker have 4 almond croissants and smoke weed on an electrical box in Washington, D.C.? Well, a motherfucker has a place to live and cook. That's how. And that's how I have 4 of these this morning, which I cooked and took out of the oven at 650. And since I'm a fucking weirdo, watch the video. It's even got time lapse. And then there's some footage of me smoking weed in helicopters at the end. Ha ha ha.
It was windy outside, so I had to walk, walk with me, squawk with me, talk with me. I'm a bird in a tree. I fly to the beach peacefully to get some fish to eat. Sometimes I fly and fly away just to enjoy and waste my day. Sometimes I don't eat for days, because why? The clouds and the tornadoes and the hurricane haze. So, what do? I find a nice other bird to spend a few. We build a nest and get things off our chest, and then it's the eggs where we sit to rest and wait for them to break and grow. And then guess what? More birds on the planet. So, raise up a bird, raise up a tree, start a garden and a family. If you go to church, then you might see why others have a prayer family. Not to say something that's wrong or to dissuade. Lots of other religions have it made. So if you go to the mosque or you're a Buddhist in your way, it's all cool as long as you're saying, hey. I mean, synagogue's cool, or Shinto, or all that other stuff. Hindu. Come on, y'all. What do? You basically wake up, get yourself clean, have a shower, go to work, and you know what I mean. You got a car, cell phone, innovation. Hey, can I ask you a question? Just seriously, one quick question. And this is for everybody. I noticed that you don't skateboard. And I noticed that you look pretty bored. And I seen you staring at everything around you like it's a chessboard. And based upon your attire, I think you figured out how not to be bored and put some more pieces on your own personal chessboard. Now, I don't know if that's called real estate or gold that makes you great. Some people are early and some are late. And guess what? That's just the human condition. And my name's Nate. I grew up in a place a little bit close to here, but not quite inside the DC socio-global leadership sphere. Well, that's what I thought until I grew age 50 and felt the fear. Then I knew it was all around me, and I never knew it was near. So I came back to DC and I planted my tent right here. Watched my car get repossessed, and I didn't cry or drink a beer. I laughed. I recorded it in slow motion video, and then I entered into the homeless, bag ladies, but it's the bag man rodeo. Now I'm out here fighting bulls, no clowns to help me, 'cause I'm not a member of the radio. Real. Hey, you ever wonder why they do live karaoke in cafes and put you in a fucked up mental haze? I'm not a member of the rodeo union, so no clowns here to help this fool. So I jump on and off the Broncos to get from here to there. Some call them buses, and that's a rule. Urban octopus autobus operators, those engineers of time, and those destination connectivators. They're psychometric navigators who help us attain our time travel elevators. So they get us from here to there faster, and I'm not an old school rap master blaster. And you know how I know? There's two reasons why I know. And one is because I know because of KRS-One. Yeah, and I know. And the other one is reggae music. Chant down Babylon. How do I know? Our reggae music. We chant down Babylon.
What if I said that all the people who ignore the suffering here in DC, if you watch an old TV show called Dukes of Hazzard, and there was the police in that show, their names are Anus and Cletus and Roscoe Pico Train, and then the fat guy with the big hat was named Boss Hogg. Well, all the people who ignore the suffering here in Washington, D.C. are the boss hogs of the world. So if you don't know your shitty American television pop culture, which is what most of the people my age were raised on, that Coca-Cola, public television, macaroni and cheese by Kraft, and Totino's frozen pizzas, you want to know who made that plan up? All the people in these lawyers' offices here on L Street and K Street, all around the White House, and also on Capitol Hill. And do you know why I can say that? Because I'm from here. And I grew up around these families in Reston, Virginia, which was the area where the orchards were for Lord Fairfax. So all those precious fruits and vegetables, that Garden of Eden that people wrote about, that was Reston, Virginia, in that area outside of DC 400 some years ago when they edited, revamped the spiritual text of quote unquote Ethiopia and the Line of Solomon and changed it to the 1619 version of the King James Bible. The Garden of Eden was Reston, Virginia, and Robert E. Simon never really existed. They call it the Heron House that he lived at the top on. All the people I knew that grew up and got hooked on heroin called heroin Heron, meaning Robert E. Simon was one of the original junkies with a prescription for morphine. And he walked around Reston, Virginia like a fucking retard, and everyone kissed his ass. And that's because he was hiding the secret that it was really all the slave master families who rebranded their names and changed their names and split their family names, such as the people as the Mayflower Hotel, which is across the street, a heart of prostitution and human trafficking here for the world's elite in Washington, D.C. The bar associations in this building, apparently, and some lawyers' offices. Look, again, all these lawyers and their workers are the boss hogs of the world. And that's why a lot of people from all over the world want to just fucking kill them. Or should I say, since some of y'all watch it to surveil me, they want to kill all of you. that's funny to me, because y'all don't give a shit about people, and especially you resting boss hogs who are like the world-class boss hogs. See, it kind of goes like this. Pieces of shit, then you got your scramblers, then you got your crackers, then you got your pigs, then you got your demons, then you got like your devils, then you got your fucking warlords, and then you got your most evil satanic people. Well, the people from Reston, who had the Garden of Eden for Lord Fairfax, who owned everything west of Washington, D.C., the people and the pillage, those are the families I grew up amongst, except for I'm from Pittsburgh Steelworkers. So why, as a PhD scientist and an engineer from Carnegie, let their baby boy get experimented upon by NIH and everyone else around? Thank you, sister. Some people do care. Most do not. And they walk by smiling. And dare I say, maybe it's been some of the family members of people who know me to see if I know who their kids are, or their parents, or their sisters and brothers. I don't, dumbasses. I'm starving and homeless, and I have been for years, you fucktards. And this is what I call therapy. What happens when you grew up around the people that created the internet and all these special gadgets, the chips in all the cell phones and all these other neato burrito plans to control humanity, using experimental theater at some of the greatest higher education institutions in the world, where you can get a master's degree in the arts? Oh, I forgot, master's in that level is cracker. So, well, maybe pig is the master. I don't know. PhD, master, pig. You know, the doctors who drug your children and your elders and then act like they're just giving them medication. You know those same doctors who approve them to put chemicals in our foods in the United States, our foods at our stores, and everything. Those chemicals are not permitted in most countries in the world. These are the boss hogs. A boss hog who could have just given me $20 gave me $1. So instead of eating a meal, I get to wish I could eat a meal. And hope tomorrow I can also get maybe $6 like I've gotten in the past 3 hours sitting here. And they walk by, and some of them walk by straight up to go with their fucking prostitutes in this expensive steakhouse right here. Straight the fuck up. In the eye of all the world leaders, dare I say they're the families of world leaders. Oh, I forgot. Washington, D.C., the White House, where they had the audacity just a few years ago to put slavery on paper as A-OK. This is a message to all you dumb fucking Uncle Sams, Colonel Sanders, and Uncle Toms. Now, where was I? Oh, thinking negative thoughts about people who don't actually skateboard but pretend to, and then try and get into the Olympics to control it. Guess what? I am disabled. I'm fucking mentally ill. And guess what I do? I conduct MIAs, mentally ill actions, especially when I'm hungry and the rich policymakers of the world ignore me, which the White House is a few blocks away. When I beg by the White House, they give me less money over there. And all the prostitutes keep coming out and going to their fucking prostitute den and to their hotel. There's a lot of them around here. Pick a fucking building that nobody owns or works in. That's what they are. It's called the United States of America, the capital of slavery. And with super tankers, with the Getty family, with boats and yachts, and inexpensible, unexpendable, don't give a fuck $34 trillion. Hey, as long as people keep ignoring the suffering and keep smirking and laughing when they read my sign that says mentally ill, please help, they probably think we're all ill because they're all on meds. No, they're just party animals. You know the drugs that people take to stay up all the time? Meth and cocaine. When you get it from a doctor, it's called Adderall, Ritalin, or Vyvanse. That's lesson number 2. And this is lesson number 3. Fuck you.